of ASUU, the University Lecturers Association body. Professor Emmanuel Oshodeke joins us live here in our studio. Thank you so much, Prof, for joining us.
Thank you, Robert.
Apologies. I mean, thank you for your patience tonight.
Thank you.
The struggle continues. Is that the statement that we are hearing from you? Are you appealing the case, or what's the next step for ASUU?
The beauty of the Nigerian legal system is that there are steps. Those are called the first step. There's appeal court and there's Supreme Court. So, as a union of intellectuals, we will sit down, we'll hear from our solicitor, our lawyer, and our members, and then we'll take on the next step. Definitely, the decision of the industrial court is not final.
The court asks you to go back to classroom immediately. So when are you meeting? When are you taking the decision? Because the judgment of court is binding.
When we hear from our legal, when we get the proceeding and elect for a lawyer, we'll continue. It's not what I've come here to discuss today because it's purely legal.
What was the reaction of yourself? You were in court, I assume, today, were you?
I was in court.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And some of your colleagues, what were your reactions at the delivery of the judgment?
Like I said, we are a union of intellectuals. We don't have those emotional things that people look at. They are giving a judgment. The first step, we have 2 more steps to go. So we are not bothered. We are not emotional. He has a right to give his judgment, and we have a right to appeal.
But the judge made, in the judgment, there were some very instructive part of that judgment, which says, for the sake of those students that are being away from the classroom for over 200 days, since February, are you going to consider that in your decision?
You see, like I said, when I was going to talk about that, but let's go back.
I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about the basis of which the court places judgment.
What precipitated the strike? The union just woke up and went on strike? What precipitated the strike? The union had an agreement in 2009, not implemented. Memorandum of Understanding 2017, not implemented. Memorandum of 2020, not implemented. Agreement in 2020, thrown away with Musa EGB. Agreement in 2022 with the MIBRICS, thrown away. All the issues neglected. Are we happy with the state of our universities? Why are those who have money in this country taking their children away from Nigerian universities and taking them abroad? That is the question we should have. Will this judgment solve the issue for which we are strike? I said something to you. I don't know where you have looked at it.
Yes, I looked at it.
You need to
the position of the federal government as of 2012.
We need to show that to Nigerian people. Is our university good? You see, to me, and I'm so happy that when you look, my member have asked them to react, but when you look at the reaction, even NAS, you read it, call the judgment black market judgment. You say you read it there. You read the reaction of Nigerians. The students for whom you say you are protecting, they say we don't want it. So a student wrote, how can you bring my lecturer you are denied salary for 8 months to come and teach me? So please, what I'm saying, let's leave that judgment. Our lawyer, a very renowned lawyer, will look at it and advise us on what to do. Every Nigerian has a right.
Now, so your position now, let's be clear, is that speaking on behalf of your colleagues, you are not going back to the classroom. You are hoping to appeal the case.
You don't need to push us to that level.
No, I'm asking a question.
Every person has a right to appeal. The judgment of the industrial court is not final. And I have said, I am not a lawyer. I will have a lawyer representative who will advise us properly and will take the next step. But like I said, every Nigerian has a right to appeal judgment.
So the ASUU is not satisfied with the judgment of today?
Are you satisfied?
No, I'm not part of ASUU.
No, you are a part of, look, you are a part of Nigerian. You are a Nigerian. And when I look at you, you are not one of those who can send their children to Cambridge. We're not. We're just workers. We cannot. Are we satisfied with the system? Are we satisfied with our universities? How come our people are running to Ghana? In the 80s, we said Ghana must go. Why are we?
Were you surprised when the federal government went to the industrial court?
You see, that is the funny part of it. It's really funny. You see, you go to court when your collective bargaining and your negotiation have broken down. We don't have a broken down negotiation with government. We don't. As we speak, so the National Assembly are handling the issue. You read it yesterday, and we reached an understanding yesterday. We reached an understanding yesterday on how to resolve this problem in the university system to ensure Nigerian university students go back to university in peace, well taught, in a comfortable environment. We reached an understanding that they are going to meet the president to present to him, and if they agree, the strike is called off.
The pro-chancellors met with the
Pro-chancellor
president.
also met with the president.
And the president said he was going to get back to them.
And the pro-chancellor also met with the president. And the president said, I will come back to you. If all these are going on to resolve the problem amicably in the interest of the system, and the Minister of Labour decided to go to court, you had a meeting with the president on Friday last week. We have a meeting with the Senate this week, the two major arms of the government, and they said we are handling the issue, we will resolve it within a very short time. And a member of that executive go to court and say, go back to work whether you like it or not.
Do you think that the federal government is not sincere?
Every Nigerian should interpret that. Not the federal government.
What does ASUU think?
This case was taken to court by a minister. And you said the same minister, come on air, you read it very well, that federal government did not go to court with ASUU. 3 days ago. You read it, well read, I had not been debunked, that the federal government did not take ASUU to court. But we were surprised when we went to the court, the judgment was given in favor of federal government. Who said it didn't go to court? That tells you the type of thing you have as a country. A minister went to air. Who went to the court? Because when we went to the court, the person is the Minister of Labour that took the case to court. Why the executive arm and legislative arm of the government are resolving the issues?
Were you getting somewhere with the Minister of Education in your negotiation? Was there a signal that something good was coming out of the negotiation with the Minister of Education?
You see, Minister of Education is a minister. The higher decision-making person in this country is the president of the country. And the president told the whole country, I have listened to you. I will consult and come back to you. The president of the country. We went to the legislative arm and we finished, and they said, yes, we have reached some understanding. Give us 1 week to meet with the president when he comes back from a trip he went abroad, and we'll resolve this problem. While we are doing this, somebody wants to call to say, you must force them back to school. You see, let me tell you the catastrophe of what has just happened today. It's a catastrophe. The last time this happened was during the military era. You know the catastrophe? I can assure you when this strike is over, a large number of our lecturers are going to migrate from this country. When you are using force to push your lecturer to class. I asked you a question yesterday. The way you are, Oshibaloye. If you go to a hospital and say, the doctor say, this place is not well, do it well. And the owner forced the man, say you must go and treat this patient. Will you allow that doctor to treat you? The same thing with the lecturers. You are forcing your lecturer. You know what they did? First of all, they say if we owe them, if we don't pay them, they will come and beg us. And 7 months, it didn't work. I remember I stayed alive. And then he went to court, want to force them. It's a catastrophe. No country that is thinking about the future of their children, thinking about the health of the education system, who believe in education, who believe in the future of this country, whose children are in those universities, we try that.
Prof, what is the way out now?
The way out of industrial dispute is to resolve it amicably, as we are doing, and I must thank the Speaker of the House of Representatives, as we are doing with the House of Representatives. There are people who were elected by Nigerians across the country, not a minister appointed by one person. Say we are handling this issue, and the minister went to court. I want to force them back. The best way is to follow that path that the House of Representatives and the president of this country has taken. Let's resolve this problem. And not